Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, and thank you for inviting me to be your guest speaker today. I just want to say on behalf of the state of Colorado and the General Assembly, congratulations. I'd like to just offer a round of applause. You have accomplished something very great. And yes, I do realize that I am the one person standing between you and your certificate and being able to celebrate with friends and family. But because I've been invited to be the speaker, there is a little bit of a speaker's prerogative that you have the opportunity to bestow a few words of wisdom and advice. So I will take that prerogative. Your certificate that you're earning here today is the foundation, and it's the basis. And it's where you're going to build your career on. Now I realize that some of you have started your careers, others are just beginning or perhaps still looking for something to engage in. But I do have a few words to offer you. First, I'd like to thank you for choosing careers that are at the Technical College of the Rockies. Today, I believe most, if not all of you, are graduating debt-free. In an era in which there's well over $1 trillion in student debt around America, being able to graduate debt-free will set you apart from your peers for years to come. As a matter of fact, a small fact for you, someone who goes to a liberal arts Ivy League school and earns, say, a modest $100,000 in debt, it will take them almost 30 years before paying that off to be able to catch up where you will be able to outperform them, even in rural Colorado. So economically, I want to say, well done, you will set yourself apart. Secondly, I also want to tell you that you are engaging in the building blocks of the community. I want everyone in the audience, because I know the graduates know this, but turn in your program. There's a list of the different fields, from early childhood education, emergency medical services, cosmetology, automotive services, barbering, hairstyling, drafting and design, law enforcement, massage therapy, nurse aide, nurse assistant, and practical nursing. What do all those things have in common? It is okay to shout it out. The Technical College of the Rockies, that's the answer, but the answer I'm looking for, those are the elements that build a community. We cannot have a community like Delta or Montrose, or Grand Junction, or even Telluride without these professions and occupations. However, it is possible to have a community without an anthropologist, without a philosopher, and without a Latin linguist. So I want to thank you for choosing careers that build our communities, because the career fields you have chosen, we can't live without. There's 4 areas I now would like to focus on as I start to wrap up. First, I want to tell you to find a good mentor, to focus on health, to never stop learning, and to build your connections. Finding a mentor is really important in any career. As a mentee, it will be very difficult for you to find someone who is a very good mentor. But you should try, and you should definitely try to find someone. Sir Isaac Newton once said that it was by standing on the shoulders of giants that he was able to realize his potential. And what he meant by that was not literally standing on the shoulders of giants, but being able to find someone who's a little bit further in their career path, and to use their knowledge and their expertise to help them advance. A wise mentee understands that a mentor is someone who is able to further them along their career path, and who's able to see what others cannot see, and to help them navigate that course. Even in my own career in public service, my predecessor, Representative Hewlin Willett, had been an attorney, and he had also served as a representative. He also mentored me in public service, in being able to be a legislator. And knowing and understanding what you're getting into before you get there is very, very critical. Focus on health. So as you plan your careers, you might be tempted, for those over 21, to go out and party very hard after this, over and vibe. And that's good for celebration. But it's important to remember that a healthy lifestyle will help your careers, it will help you as individuals, but more importantly, I'd like to tell you about some raw, hard numbers. So you'll spend an average with you and your family about $20,000 more or less per year on health insurance. In Colorado, we spend about $50 billion on health care. And for those of you who are going into anything medical or nurse related, you're nodding your heads right now because you're adding up the dollar signs and you realize you're going to be employed for the rest of your lives if you want to be. Because we're spending a lot of money. Well, here in Western Colorado, we spend 7% more than they do in the rest of the state. And yet it costs 30% more. But there are things you can do that will ensure that you pay less over time and enjoy your lives more than anyone else. And that's understanding that your health right now matters, and that you're probably the healthiest now that you will be in your lives. I don't say that tongue-in-cheek. Being in your late teens or early 20s or mid-20s, you'll be the lightest, you'll be the most flexible, you'll be the most agile. But remember that and try to develop a healthy lifestyle, whether it's a little bit of walking, a little bit of nutrition, lots of sleep, lots of water, because it will save you money in the long run. As a matter of fact, the New York Times estimated that if you start practicing what I just said, you'll save an average of $2,500 per year. And then that compounds with interest. And of course, then when you earn all this great money through your careers, you'll be able to retire early and actually enjoy your retirement because you're not having to go through such things as knee replacements or heart surgery. Never stop learning. Today is the celebration of an accomplishment. You've learned a lot. But I want to tell you, you're also just at the foundational level. So if we're building a house, as some of you know, the foundation is just the concrete pad. You have a lot to go from here. There's the framework that you have to start to develop. And you do that by practicing. You're practicing your trade, your career. And you're gaining experience through that. Some of you may go on to do other degrees. But never, ever stop learning. And learning can take many different forms as well. It may be from a good book or just a curious mind of trial and error. Though try not to commit too many errors. Learning, and that was a joke, we can all laugh. Learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and attained with diligence. That was said by our second First Lady, Abigail Adams. Or Michelangelo, even at the height of his career, said, "I'm still learning. I'm always learning." So keep a curious mind and always continue to learn. In the legislature, we're expected to know a lot. And quite frankly, many people come to the committees in which I sit on. I sit on Health and Insurance and Judiciary. And even though those two committees are very specialized, there's still an entire field of areas I don't know. And just like you, I have to do my own homework. You don't just waltz in there thinking you know everything. If you do, you're going to be in for a very rude awakening. And lastly, build your connections. Whether you're in business or politics or public service, knowing who to call is incredibly essential. I can't stress that enough. It's really easy to think that you've got this, and you might. But it's a lot easier to know if there's something you ought to be doing differently in your career, to be able to know that it is okay to call a friend of your father's or mother's, or to be able to call that friend that you met at the Technical College of the Rockies who's doing something maybe similar but slightly different. Your connections will help build your career. They will also help you gain customers. And it will be through your connections that you will advance your career as well. John Bon Jovi, who is slightly famous, said that connections, especially through the internet in the modern era, will definitely transform our world. So keep in contact with those that you see here today. Some of you, as you start your careers, and I know that not everyone is from our particular Concord River Valley, but as you move on to other locations, keep in contact. It's very important. And in conclusion, I just want to say that building your connections, never stop learning, focus on help, and also find that mentor. You will find that your careers will be much more rewarding. You will earn more and be happier. But most important, it's always good to listen to good advice and to understand when advice is good. It's also good to know when the clock has run out and it's time to move on to things like handing out certificates. For the class of 2019, I want to say once again, congratulations, and go get them.